Well, hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd bring a bit of festive cheer to the set this week, being my last review before Christmas. And today we're talking about Star Trek Prodigy, episode 19 of season 1, entitled Supernova Part 1. Pretty exciting episode. We had a pretty big battle sequence here with a big Starfleet armada, lots of tension and excitement and stuff going on. It was a really good second last episode of the season, and today we're going to go through that, talk about everything we saw in the episode, what it was all about, break it down as we do, and let me know my overall thoughts. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, please don't be shy to do so. Click on that big subscribe button to stay current and up to date with all the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. So our episode pretty much picks up where last week's episode left off. We've got Janeway in the brig. Nobody's going to believe her. Everyone thinks she's gone a bit loopy because she was inhabited by Dahl's consciousness in the last episode, and she's sort of struggling to get her point across to the rest of the crew. We've got the massive Starfleet armada there, all kind of in preparation to take down the Protostar. Seems like a bit of an overkill just for one ship. You wouldn't necessarily think they would need such a large armada just to welcome one ship to the Alpha Quadrant. But then again, it's going to make for a bigger battle sequence and a more exciting lead up to the conclusion, having more ships in the fight to be infected by this virus. Early on in the episode, we also see Admiral Jellicoe weigh in again. We've seen him previously in the season, and he obviously comes back to give orders and so forth in this episode as well. So again, good to see Ronnie Cox back as Jellicoe in this episode. And we've essentially got the Protostar having to do some fancy evasive maneuvers and so forth to evade all of the Starfleet ships, which are trying to take its shields down so they can board the ship. So we pretty much see in our armada here almost every Starfleet ship known to man. Any kind of criticism that was leveled towards Star Trek creators a couple of years ago in the season 1 finale of Picard, where it was just a basic cut and paste with the one starship just being duplicated about 100 times, has been certainly put to rest in this episode, where we get to see Sovereign class, Defiant class, Akira class, Excelsior class, you name it. All of the greatest hits of Starfleet vessels have shown up to roll out the welcome wagon, or not so much, for the Protostar's entry into the Alpha Quadrant. Now, just when we thought Janeway isn't going to get herself out of the bridge particularly easily, we find out that the security officer serving on board the Dauntless is in fact a Brunari refugee. If we go back to one of those Voyager episodes, Counterpoint, it was the one with the Devore and the Brunari, the refugees and so forth. And it turns out that our security officer here is an old previously Brunari refugee, and obviously she thanks Janeway for freeing her, and she basically lets Janeway out of the brig as a bit of a thank you for that act of kindness, I guess, back in the previous Voyager episode. So good little link to a previous Voyager episode there. We get a first kiss between Gwyn and Dahl, which kind of goes off a little bit awkwardly. Now, before long, we get the Diviner Dreadnought and the Vindicator, aka Essentia, boarding the Protostar. We've got a bit of a phaser fight going on in the hallways there, and then it kind of transitions to quite an exciting hand-to-hand combat situation between Essentia versus Gwyn, and we've also got Dreadnought versus Murph and the other crew members as well. So we've got a couple of fight sequences going on here on board the Protostar. Quite exciting stuff. A good little sword fight there. Everybody kind of gets overpowered. The virus is let loose on the Federation fleet, which we kind of knew it was going to happen. I mean, you don't get all of those Federation starships there all together in a nice little armada, all sort of sitting there comfortably, ripe for the picking for the construct virus to take hold of them, which is essentially what happens. We've got the message sent out, and then all of a sudden, all of our Starfleet ships start getting targeted. All of our ships start turning on each other. They're shooting each other up, which is kind of essentially what happened back with the comms array or whatever earlier on in the season. But this time it's on a fleet-wide level. Meanwhile, we've got the Vindicator and the Diviner having a bit of I guess you'd say difference of opinion as to what should happen, and the Vindicator is sticking to mission. The Diviner's, bit more emotionally connected to his daughter Gwyn, and it doesn't kind of work out so well to him. We have a fatal impalement situation with the Vindicator putting a killing blow on the Diviner there by using the heirloom sword that they use. And to make things worse in terms of everything that's going on as well, the Universal Translator goes down on a fleet-wide level, so nobody's able to communicate with each other to put steps into motion to stop the virus doing what it's doing, because all of our different alien species that are spread throughout the fleet that rely on the Universal Translator to communicate, they can't kind of do it anymore, and they're all jibber jabbering away, and nobody can understand each other, and it's all a bit confusing. But that allows Gwyn to put some of her communication skills to use, and she takes the captain's chair. Dal steps aside. She takes the chair to basically open up some lines of communication with ships that don't have a Starfleet signature, because the construct virus is only going to attack the ships that are Starfleet, so they have to elicit help from the Ferengi or the Vulcans or the Klingons in order to get some assistance with what's going on with the ships, trying to destroy each other. And even though the ships come to the rescue at the end of the episode, and we've got all these different races of ship trying to do their best to take a bit of a few of the hits so that all the Starfleet ships don't get destroyed, it doesn't seem to be helping too much, because we've still got Starfleet ships warping in to find out what's going on, only to be infected themselves. It's going to be a very interesting last episode to the season next week, because we've got all these Starfleet ships shooting the crap out of each other, more coming in, getting infected, other, obviously, Klingons and the Vulcans, everything are doing their best to help, but they need some very creative thinking in terms of how they're going to get rid of this virus from all of the ships, because it's a bit of a tricky one to overcome. So this episode, really exciting episode, plenty of ship-to-ship action. We've got some space battle stuff going on. We had some phaser fights in the hallways. We've got some hand-to-hand combat with some sword fighting going on. It was pretty action-packed and pretty exciting stuff. I enjoyed it immensely. I think we had some good character stuff with different characters, such as Gwyn putting communication skills to the test, and helping out there. Good to see such a diverse squadron or armada of ships in Starfleet there, along with obviously all the ships that came to help as well amidst the combat and everything that's going on there. We're trying to fight off the virus, or all of the ships infected by the virus. All in all, I think this has been quite a good lead up to the end of the season. We had a really entertaining episode last week with the whole body swap episode. That was really entertaining. Lots of action this week with everything from phaser fights to ship armada battles to sword fighting on the bridge. It was pretty exciting stuff. So I was highly entertained by this week's episode. So guys, I just want to say a very Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and please stay safe, yourself and your family and friends and everything. Do your best to make it a safe festive season. Appreciate all your support this year. Guys, as always, please leave your thoughts in the comment section and let me know what you thought of this episode and what you're looking forward to most about next week's episode. Leave a super thanks if you're able to, really helps the channel out, much appreciated. Check out my other videos, and of course, don't forget to have a look at the merch in my merch store. All the t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, caps, you name it, all their stickers, check it out. There's always some new stuff going on there, and always heaps of special deals to take advantage of. I will catch you guys after Christmas. Have a good one, and I'll be back for my review of the very final episode of the season, which will be just before New Year's. Looking forward to that one. And I'll catch you guys really soon. Have a great Christmas.